morning. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Sunday, August 24th. Here we have the Dow 15-minute chart. On Friday, we were able to break out of this bullish falling wedge. Nice extension up on the Dow. Granted, very few stocks actually participated in that large rally on Friday. It was mostly just a handful of financial stocks doing most of the run. If we flip to the daily chart, we get a better view. As I mentioned, if we were able to close back, actually move the lines above the support line that we broke last week, we've actually flipped back into a mild bullish stance on the Dow daily, and we still could see a move to 12,000 over the next 2 weeks into the early part of September. That's not unheard of, especially this time of the year with low volume. Would make perfect sense for the crooks to rally this market on low volume up to the 12K area so they can start dumping paper on the fools that come back after Labor Day. RSI looks pretty good. If we scroll down, ADX looks good. Stochastics, we got a nice bounce. And check on balance volume. Even when we had that sell-off, on balance volume really did not drop, and we've actually made a new high on balance volume. Granted, it's on lower volume, but still, it's flipped us to a slightly bullish stance. SMH, possible bottom now in place. If you're looking for a scalp on this one, a move over the 50-day moving average, that is at 29.28. Target would be a move to 30.40. Stops 28.69. The bounce back, though, however, was on lower volume given the dump we saw earlier in the week. So not that great a risk-reward trade. It may be just one to watch and learn from. Oil looked like we were off to the races on Thursday. We hit my target of 120 that I mentioned about a week ago. And then, lo and behold, on Friday, we had just a huge reversal. The candle you see here is called a bearish engulfing candle. And what that means is the day before you had a high of, say, 119 and a low of 114. And then the following day, you've got a high of 120 and a low of 113, but on the downside, meaning the second day the range is totally engulfs the previous range, but it ends on a low, and that is actually a very bearish setup for oil. A break of the 200-day moving average at 110, and we are going to see oil plunge. In my opinion, as I'm saying, we're looking at $85 to $95 over the next couple of months in oil going into the election, and that should be good for stocks, should being the optimum word. NASDAQ bullish percent index, we're still up in the danger zone right here. We're actually mirroring what happened back in May and June. We had the first top, little sell-off, and then another rally to a top, and looks like we're doing the exact same thing here. And this just cements my idea that we are going to see one nasty sell-off sometime in September or early October in this market. So even though we've got a slightly bullish stance on the market right now, we're at the party, but we're dancing very close to the door, 1 foot out the door. So still remaining high cash. Whole idea is to scalp a couple of plays, and that's about it. Stock plays. ELN continued its bounce. Very nice setup. We've got Biogen giving an update on Tysabri on Tuesday, so this stock should continue to see upside tomorrow. And if what I'm hearing on the rumor mill is true, that the PML guys are doing well, we could see a nice move back at least to the 20-day exponential on ELN. IMMU didn't do much for us last week. I thought it would go, but the stock is still in play. If we scroll down a little and look at stochastics, on the last two attempts, we had a rally attempt, sell-off, and then boom. Rally attempt, sell-off, boom. Rally attempt, sell off. Hopefully this is the boom. So I'm going to continue to give it some room, mostly because I think the upside could be pretty substantial on this one. And if it's going to go, it's going to go this week. I know we've heard that one before, but if it does not go this week, we move on. Sirius continuing to tread water here. They've got a conference call this week, which may set the stock free. With the 20-day exponential so close, I would actually wait for a break of 154 to add to our scalp position. So Let's see how that goes. OPWV, open wave. It's got this nice symmetrical triangle formation here that's getting tighter and tighter. Target on this one would be a move to $2. How do I come up with that target, you say? Symmetrical triangle, you see the two lines here. The way to determine target on the symmetrical triangle is you take the highest point and the lowest point, that being 164, 113. The difference between that is 51 cents. You add 51 cents to the breakout, which is 155, and you get a 2 plus target. That's how you come up with your targets on symmetrical triangles. RSI has flatlined. We've still got our uptrend in stochastics. Not one I would be playing heavily, but one I would have a small position in, because if it goes, it could go pretty damn big. CROX was a big winner last week. We're back in this one around the 450s. Looking for another snapback to the 20-day exponential this week. So we're looking for $5 on this one, and stops would be at 403. Indicators look pretty good, oversold, and the sell-off last week on the market should see a recovery on it this week. Some new plays to keep an eye on. ESLR, Evergreen Solar. This is one of my favorite solar plays. As you can see from the chart, it is very, very volatile, which is good if you're a scalper. It's got pretty strong support now at 950. Would possibly consider nibbling on a break of 981, but more than likely would wait for a break of 10 to add a scalp play. Target would be the 200-day moving average. That's at 1094. As you can see, when this stock goes, it usually bounces big to its 200-day moving average. Is a little bit overbought right now. Ideally, I'd like to buy this around $8.75 to $9, but the Democratic conventions this week, and these guys have donated one of their solar systems, prime location, and they should get some press on it, which will bring the momentum traders in. Middlebrook Pharmaceuticals, very nice symmetrical triangle breakout in process right now. Would consider nibbling this one under 210 with stops at 2 and a target at least of the 50-day moving average. That's at 236. But no reason why this one couldn't make a move on its 200-day moving average. That's at 281. RSI is about ready to break 50. Stochastics are in a nice uptrend. ADX is getting ready to cross, so definitely one to keep an eye on this week. ZIXI, I didn't really update this chart here, but it's one I've got an eye on. A break over 288 may be interesting for a move here. Just one to stick on the radar. If it does move, it could see a pretty big spike. As you can see, it's got a tendency to make big runs over the last 3 or 4 months. Last stock we're going to take a look at here is ADLR, Adalor Corporation. Stock's been just decimated over the last month. Reason I like this one a lot, market cap is $159 million. They have $161 million in cash and no debt, and a stock that just got approved for marketing by the FDA. So you're getting a free company, a free biotech right now. The reason this stock is not moving is they had an indication for the drug that just got approved for bowel syndrome, and FDA has given it the okay, but they're partnered with Glaxo on it, and Glaxo has not said they're willing to restart the trial, so that's a lot of the reason for the chop down here. 330 area, I would look to add a scalp position with 320 stops, and target on this one's a move back to 364 at a minimum. RSI is coming out of the basement, just had a positive MACD crossover. Stochastics are in the basement, so this is another, if we get the typical August rally over the next week in stocks, this is the kind of stock that could go big. So keep a strong watch on this. That is it for the video today. Last week of August, early September, volumes are very, very low typically, and they can push the market wherever they want. The charts say the bias will be to the upside. It will make it a lot easier for the crook funds to dump into the average traders come September. So things could be bullish, but be very mindful of what's going on right now. And that's it for the video. I'll see you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.